Delivery of hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Certainly, let's delve into the delivery of hormones in detail. Delivery of hormones. Hormones are essential chemical messengers that regulate various physiological processes in the body. They need to be delivered to target tissues and cells for their effects to be exerted. The delivery of hormones involves complex mechanisms that ensure proper communication between glands, target cells, and tissues. Here's a comprehensive overview. 1. Endocrine glands. Endocrine glands are responsible for producing hormones. These glands include the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal glands, pancreas, gonads, testes, and ovaries, and more. Hormones are synthesized and secreted by these glands in response to specific stimuli or signals. 2. Hormone transport. Once hormones are synthesized, they need to be transported to their target cells. Hormones can be classified into water-soluble peptide and amine hormones and lipid-soluble steroid and thyroid hormones categories. The transport mechanisms differ for these two groups. Water-soluble hormones. Peptide and amine hormones are water-soluble and cannot easily cross the cell membrane. They travel through the bloodstream in their free form, dissolved in plasma. These hormones bind to specific receptors on the surface of target cells, triggering signaling pathways inside the cell. Lipid-soluble hormones. Steroid and thyroid hormones are lipid-soluble and can diffuse across the cell membrane. They often bind to carrier proteins in the bloodstream, which prolongs their half-life and protects them from rapid degradation. Once they reach target cells, they can directly enter the cell nucleus and bind to intracellular receptors. This binding initiates gene expression and protein synthesis. 3. Hormone receptors. Target cells possess specific receptors for hormones. These receptors can be found on the cell surface for water-soluble hormones or inside the cell for lipid-soluble hormones. Receptors are typically proteins that bind to hormones with high specificity, triggering cellular responses. 4. Signal transduction. Upon hormone receptor binding, signal transduction pathways are activated. These pathways relay the hormone signal from the receptor to the cell's interior. They often involve the activation of secondary messengers, e.g., cyclic AMP, calcium ions that amplify the signal and lead to a cellular response. 5. Hormone action. The action of hormones can be categorized into several types. Stimulation. Hormones stimulate target cells to perform specific functions. For example, insulin stimulates glucose uptake by cells. Inhibition. Some hormones inhibit the activity of specific cells or processes. For instance, parathyroid hormone inhibits osteoblast activity. Modification. Hormones can modify the activity of enzymes or other proteins within target cells. Thyroid hormones, for example, increase the metabolic rate. Control of secretion. Some hormones regulate the secretion of other hormones. For example, the hypothalamus secretes releasing hormones that control the anterior pituitary's hormone release. 6. Feedback regulation. Hormone delivery is tightly regulated by feedback mechanisms. Negative feedback loops help maintain hormone levels within a specific range. When hormone levels rise beyond a set point, feedback mechanisms inhibit further hormone synthesis and release, while low hormone levels stimulate their production. 7. Hormone clearance and metabolism. Hormones eventually need to be cleared from the bloodstream to prevent prolonged and excessive stimulation. Hormones are metabolized and broken down by various organs, particularly the liver and kidneys. The resulting metabolites are then excreted from the body. Conclusion. The delivery of hormones is a sophisticated process that involves synthesis, transport, binding to receptors, signal transduction, and specific actions within target cells. This intricate system ensures that hormones reach their intended destinations and trigger the appropriate physiological responses, maintaining homeostasis and regulating various bodily functions. Storage of hormones in Storage of hormones in detail. Storage of hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Storage of hormones. Hormones play a crucial role in regulating various physiological processes within the body. Many endocrine glands store hormones before they're released into the bloodstream, ensuring a controlled and timely response. The storage of hormones involves intricate mechanisms that maintain hormone integrity and facilitate their rapid release when needed. Here's a comprehensive overview of hormone storage. 1. Hormone synthesis. Before discussing hormone storage, it's important to note that hormones are primarily synthesized within endocrine glands. These glands include the thyroid gland, adrenal glands, pancreas, pituitary gland, and more. Hormones are synthesized in response to various physiological signals and are produced in precursor forms. 2. Storage vesicles. Certain endocrine glands store hormones in specialized vesicles within their cells. These vesicles are membrane-bound structures that keep hormones separate from the cytoplasm and other cellular components. Storage vesicles protect hormones from degradation and allow for their controlled release. 3. Hormone transport and processing. After synthesis, hormones are transported to storage vesicles within the endocrine gland cells. In some cases, hormones may undergo further processing or modifications within these vesicles. For example, prohormones are inactive precursors that undergo enzymatic cleavage to become active hormones. 4. Controlled release. Hormones are stored in storage vesicles until they are needed to regulate physiological processes. The release of hormones is tightly regulated by signals from the nervous system, other hormones, and various physiological cues. Upon receiving appropriate signals, the storage vesicles fuse with the cell membrane, releasing hormones into the bloodstream in a controlled manner. Upon receiving appropriate signals, the storage vesicles fuse with the cell membrane, releasing hormones into the bloodstream in a controlled manner. 5. Importance of storage. The storage of hormones serves several important purposes. Timed release. Storing hormones allows the body to release them in a controlled and timed manner, ensuring that physiological processes are regulated at the right moments. Rapid response. Storage facilitates a rapid response to physiological demands. When hormones are needed, they can be quickly released from storage vesicles, leading to a swift and effective response. Protection. Storage vesicles protect hormones from degradation and external factors that can alter their structure or function. 6. Examples of hormone storage. Thyroid gland. The thyroid gland stores thyroid hormones T3 and T4 in follicular cells in the form of thyroglobulin, a protein complex. Pancreatic islets. In the pancreas, insulin and glucagon are stored in secretory granules within the beta and alpha cells, respectively. Adrenal medulla. The adrenal medulla stores catecholamines, epinephrine, and norepinephrine in chromatin cells. Pituitary gland. Hormones produced by the hypothalamus and released by the posterior pituitary gland, e.g., oxytocin and vasopressin, are stored in nerve endings. 7. Feedback regulation.
So chromaffin cells is something where catecholamines is stored. Yeah, the adrenal medulla stores catecholamines in chromaffin cells. Chromaffin.
Feedback mechanisms regulate hormone storage and release. Hormone levels in the bloodstream are sensed, and when levels are too high, storage and release may be inhibited to prevent overstimulation of target cells. Conversely, low hormone levels can lead to increased storage and subsequent release. Conclusion. Hormone storage is a vital aspect of endocrine regulation. Storage vesicles within endocrine gland cells protect hormones from degradation and allow for rapid and controlled release into the bloodstream. This storage mechanism ensures that the body can respond swiftly and effectively to changing physiological demands, contributing to overall homeostasis and health. Secretion of hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Secretion of hormones. Hormones play a pivotal role in regulating numerous physiological processes within the body. The secretion of hormones involves intricate mechanisms that ensure timely release in response to specific signals and physiological needs. Here's a comprehensive overview of the secretion of hormones. 1. Hormone synthesis. Hormones are synthesized within specialized cells and endocrine glands. These glands include the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal glands, pancreas, and more. Hormones are synthesized in response to various stimuli, including neural signals, other hormones, and changes in blood levels of ions or nutrients. 2. Hormone release mechanisms. The secretion of hormones is a tightly regulated process that involves various mechanisms. Neural regulation. Some endocrine glands are directly innervated by nerves, which can stimulate or inhibit hormone release. For example, the adrenal medulla releases catecholamines, epinephrine, and norepinephrine in response to neural signals. Hormonal regulation. Many hormones are released in response to signals from other hormones. This is often seen in the hypothalamus pituitary target organ axis, where the hypothalamus releases releasing hormones to stimulate the anterior pituitary gland to release hormones that affect target organs. Feedback mechanisms. Hormone secretion is often regulated by negative feedback loops. When hormone levels rise, they can inhibit further secretion of the same hormone, helping to maintain balance. Circadian rhythms. Circadian rhythms. Hormone secretion often follows a circadian rhythm, with levels varying throughout the day and night. For example, cortisol levels are highest in the morning and lowest at night. 3. Stimulus response model. The secretion of hormones follows a stimulus response model. Stimulus. A specific stimulus triggers the release of hormones. This stimulus can be neural, hormonal, or physiological. Signal transduction. The stimulus is detected by receptors on the surface of endocrine gland cells. This initiates signal transduction pathways that lead to hormone release. Secretion. The signal transduction pathways ultimately lead to the fusion of hormone-containing vesicles with the cell membrane. This releases hormones into the bloodstream. 4. Hormone transport. Once released, hormones travel through the bloodstream to reach their target cells or organs. The bloodstream acts as a distribution system, delivering hormones to specific destinations. 5. Target cell response. Hormones exert their effects by binding to specific receptors on target cells. These receptors are often located on the cell membrane but can also be found within the cell. Hormone receptor binding triggers cellular responses, which can include changes in gene expression, enzyme activity, and other physiological processes. 6. Importance of hormone secretion. Homeostasis. Hormone secretion helps maintain homeostasis by regulating processes such as metabolism, growth, reproduction, and stress responses. Coordination. Hormones coordinate the activities of different organs and tissues, ensuring that they work together harmoniously. Adaptation. Hormone secretion allows the body to adapt to changing conditions, both internally and externally. 7. Examples of hormone secretion. Insulin, secreted by pancreatic beta cells in response to high blood glucose levels. It promotes glucose uptake by cells, reducing blood sugar levels. Thyroid hormones, secreted by the thyroid gland in response to signals from the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. They regulate metabolism, growth, and development. Cortisol, secreted by the adrenal cortex in response to stress signals. It regulates metabolism, immune responses, and stress responses. Gonadotropins, secreted by the anterior pituitary gland under the influence of hypothalamic releasing hormones. They regulate reproductive processes. 8. Clinical implications. Imbalances in hormone secretion can lead to various disorders, such as diabetes, thyroid dysfunction, and hormonal imbalances. Hormone replacement therapies are often used to restore normal physiological function. Conclusion. The secretion of hormones is a complex and highly regulated process that plays a critical role in maintaining the body's overall function and homeostasis. Hormones are synthesized, released, and transported through the bloodstream to target cells, where they exert their effects. Understanding hormone secretion mechanisms is essential for comprehending how the endocrine system regulates various physiological processes in response to internal and external cues. Transportation of hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Transportation of hormones. The transportation of hormones within the body is a crucial process that enables these chemical messengers to reach their target cells and exert their effects. Hormones travel through the bloodstream and other body fluids, ensuring communication and coordination among various physiological processes. Here's a detailed overview of the transportation of hormones. 1. Circulatory system. Hormones are transported primarily through the circulatory system, which includes the heart, arteries, veins, and capillaries. The circulatory system acts as a distribution network, allowing hormones to travel throughout the body and reach their target tissues. 2. Hormone types and solubility. Hormones are classified into different categories based on their solubility and chemical properties. This classification influences how hormones are transported in the body. Water-soluble hormones. These hormones, such as peptides and catecholamines, are hydrophilic and cannot readily pass through cell membranes. They are secreted into the bloodstream and circulate dissolved in the plasma. They bind to receptors on the surface of target cells and trigger signal transduction pathways. Lipid-soluble hormones. These hormones, such as steroids and thyroid hormones, are lipophilic and can diffuse across cell membranes. They are transported in the bloodstream bound to carrier proteins. Once at the target cell, they diffuse through the membrane and bind to intracellular receptors to exert their effects. 3. Carrier proteins. Lipid-soluble hormones, due to their hydrophobic nature, need carrier proteins for transport in the bloodstream. Carrier proteins include albumin and globulins. These proteins prevent hormone degradation, extend their half-life in circulation, and facilitate their controlled release to target tissues. 4. Half-life and clearance. Hormones have varying half-lives in the bloodstream, which impacts their duration of action. Some hormones are rapidly cleared from circulation, while others remain active for longer periods. Clearance occurs through the liver, kidneys, and other excretory organs. 5. Hormone transport regulation. The transport of hormones is regulated by various factors. Hormone release patterns. Hormones can be secreted in pulsatile patterns, diurnal rhythms, or in response to specific stimuli. These patterns influence their availability in circulation. Feedback mechanisms. Negative feedback loops regulate hormone secretion and clearance to maintain homeostasis. Hormone interactions. Some hormones can affect the transport or clearance of other hormones. For example, thyroid hormones can impact the clearance of steroid hormones. 6. Distribution to target cells. Hormones travel through the bloodstream to reach target cells located throughout the body. The specificity of hormone receptor interactions ensures that each hormone affects only its designated target cells. Hormones bind to specific receptors on the cell surface or within the cell, initiating cellular responses. 7. Importance of hormone transportation. Coordination. Hormone transportation ensures that various organs and tissues communicate and coordinate their activities, maintaining overall physiological balance. Response time. The speed of hormone transport affects the speed of response. Water-soluble hormones usually lead to rapid responses, while lipid-soluble hormones may require more time due to the slower diffusion across membranes. Feedback regulation. Hormone transportation is regulated to prevent excessive hormone accumulation, which could lead to overstimulation or dysregulation. 8. Clinical implications. Disorders related to hormone transportation can lead to various health conditions, such as hormonal imbalances, metabolic disorders, and endocrine dysfunction. Understanding hormone transport is crucial for diagnosing and treating these conditions. Conclusion. The transportation of hormones is a complex and highly regulated process that ensures effective communication and coordination within the body. Hormones are transported through the circulatory system, either dissolved in the plasma or bound to carrier proteins. This transportation mechanism allows hormones to reach their target cells and exert their effects, contributing to the overall functioning and homeostasis of the body. Storage, secretion, and transportation control of hormone secretion. Detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Storage, secretion, and transportation control of hormone secretion. The regulation of hormone secretion involves a complex interplay of signals that control the storage, secretion, and transportation of hormones. This intricate process ensures precise timing and magnitude of hormone release to maintain physiological balance. Let's delve into the detailed mechanisms of storage, secretion, and transportation control of hormone secretion. 1. Storage of hormones. Endocrine glands. Hormones are synthesized and stored in endocrine glands such as the adrenal glands, thyroid gland, and pancreas. Storage granules. Hormones are stored in secretory granules within endocrine cells. These granules contain the preformed hormone molecules. Precursor molecules. Some hormones are synthesized as precursor molecules that need further processing to become active. For example, proinsulin is cleaved into insulin and C-peptide. 2. Secretion of hormones. Stimulus. Hormone secretion is triggered by specific stimuli such as neural signals, hormonal signals, or changes in blood levels of ions or nutrients. Controlled release. Hormones are released in response to precise physiological needs to maintain homeostasis. Hormones can be secreted in a pulsatile or continuous manner. Feedback mechanisms. Negative feedback loops regulate hormone secretion. Excess hormone levels inhibit further secretion, while low levels stimulate release. Neuroendocrine reflexes. The nervous system can stimulate hormone release through neuroendocrine reflexes. For instance, the hypothalamus regulates pituitary gland hormone secretion. Hormonal signals. Hormones can stimulate the secretion of other hormones through endocrine pathways. For example, thyroid-stimulating hormone TSH from the pituitary stimulates thyroid hormone secretion. 3. Transportation control. Bloodstream transport. Hormones are transported via the bloodstream to target tissues or organs. Binding proteins. Some hormones, especially lipid-soluble ones, bind to carrier protein. Bloodstream transport. Hormones are transported via